Alright guys, so today you're going to be creating this really cool cactus Christmas tree landscape. Mine is really drawn very messy. Yours will be nice and neat. Don't worry about that, okay? The first thing we're going to do is paint a sky for our cactus, and we're going to do a sunset. Okay, so you're going to start with, Miss Courtney will have given you yellow, orange, red. You'll have a light blue and a dark blue. Mine are kind of mixing, but that's okay. So what you want to start with is the lightest color at the bottom, all right? And we're going to do that yellow down here at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to take it all the way across like a stripe, but I'm going to make it a little bit wider right here in the middle. You see how in the middle it's kind of not so stripy? Okay, I'm using kind of dabs to do it with. Just dabbing it up. All right. Now I'm going to go to the orange. Okay. But instead of just getting the orange, I'm going to take a little bit of the orange and a little bit of the yellow. So it's not quite a harsh transition. And you see how I'm kind of bringing it into the yellow a little bit. You're just going to bring that up a little ways. Both sides. Mine had a little bit of gunk in it, so I'm going to pop that out. Gross. And wipe it on my plate. I'm going to take that up. Now yours won't have, I kind of drew these lines out for just planing, but yours won't have those lines yet. We'll add those in a minute. Okay, it's okay if you get into your cactus a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to do, excuse me, now I'm going to do just the orange. Okay, we kind of want that to come up a bit higher. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of show where I want it to go to. And I'm going to fill in with the orange, and once again, I'm kind of bringing it down into the color beneath it a little bit. So I'm painting it with these brush strokes, and then I'm bringing it down into the color. So you should be getting this like sunset look. And if you end up with stripes, delineated stripes, it's still going to look really pretty. So don't worry about that if that happens. I'm just going between right now. And then I'm doing the edges as I go. That's called wrapping the canvas. You see how it's also making a sunset? Okay, and you know what color is next then? Red. Okay, that's a really bright red. So it's gonna go right here. I might even mix a little bit of orange with it, just so it's not quite so. And I'm just doing a little bit of red because I want to have plenty of space for my blues to get really dark. Okay. All right. Now, we all know blue and red make purple. So you might end up with some purple right here with your blue. We're going to do just a line of this light blue. I'll bring it down into my red a little bit. It almost looks gray. Like a grayish purple. Oh, you guys can't see that. Sorry. Where are we now? this dark blue is last, the dark blue. It's looking a little green because I never washed my paintbrush. And guess what? Blue and yellow make green. I'm okay with that, but you have to decide what you think about that. Once again, I did my edges as I went back, up and around. And I know it looks a little bit messy right now, but it's gonna look really cool because we're about to do some stars in the sky, okay? So there's that. And now we're gonna come down here and we're gonna do the mountains, all right? If it's a sunset, our mountains are gonna be black and gray, okay? So I'm gonna take a little bit of black. Normally I say black is last, but today we have to do a little bit of black. And then we're gonna take a little bit of gray. Ugh. Miss Courtney can give you these, okay? I still have not washed my paintbrush. All right, and we're gonna paint our mountain area, this black and gray. And that really high contrast is already gonna start making it look really good. I like to use the gray with the black because it gives it a little just a little value, where you have some areas that are going to be really dark and some areas are going to be really light. Well, not really light, but somewhat light. So you can do what you want. And when I'm doing the bottom down here, okay, I'm just going to do over to the cactus and not over the cactus. Alright, same thing over here. I'm going to mix the black and the gray a little bit. And I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint the edges. Add a little bit more black. When I paint the bottom, I'm just going to paint this. Okay. And then I added on the bottom of this one just some plain gray and kind of brought it up like that. Okay. Now you're done with this part. And I want you guys to go blow dry it. Okay? Take a minute and blow dry it. All right, you guys, you can see I've been experimenting with stars. So that's our next step. I'm gonna let you guys do a little splatter painting. I like a darker yellow. There's some lighter yellow in there too, but I really like a darker yellow. So we're gonna give you a darker yellow or a lighter yellow, whatever one you like. And you're gonna take a paintbrush like this. Okay, and you wanna hold it close to, you don't wanna hold it way out here. Okay, we just want the stars here in the upper sky. We don't want them way down here in the sunset part, okay? So I'm just gonna take it and hold it really close, and you pull the bristles back towards you, like you're pulling it back, and then you let it go, and it makes these little splatters. Okay, you don't wanna do too many. I know it's really fun, but if you get too much in there, it's just gonna be too much, right? Okay. That was your next step. Now we're gonna do, while that's drying, you can just leave that, you don't have to blow dry it again. But while that's drying, we're gonna work on our cactus, and that's just gonna even everything up. Once you guys get into that cactus, you're gonna see how nice everything's starting to look, okay? Okay, so now we're ready to do our cactus, and we're just gonna paint the whole thing. What I like to do, you're gonna have a dark green and a light green. I like to do the dark green first, or the darker color first on this. So you're gonna paint it. You definitely want to make sure everything is dry. I did not do that, so you might see some little mishaps in here, okay? You see how nice everything's looking already with that cactus up there? There is a Christmas cactus, but it does not look like this. Have you guys heard of a Christmas cactus before? Okay. Now, I'm going to take this lighter green. And I'm just going to come to the center a little bit. And do a little bit of this business with the lighter green. And you're gonna see you'll naturally get some lights and some darks in there. And I have some up here that are really light, and I have some down here that are blending, but that's okay, okay? I also painted the bottom when I did it. See? So now I'm gonna come to, let's do this arm of the cactus next. This arm is smaller, and it's like it's being hidden by the rest of the cactus. So it's like it's coming off almost the back side of the cactus. And this paintbrush is probably too big to be doing this with, but I'm gonna roll with it. So now I'm gonna, so I did the dark green, right? And now I'm gonna come back with some of this lighter green. Do a little bit. Okay. Same thing with the other arm, except this one I'm gonna make overlap the body of the cactus a little bit. It's gonna come out and up like this, so that it comes to the inside of it. And if yours doesn't, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect to be good. As long as it's painted in, I think it'll be fine. And then I'm going to come back with some of this lighter green, right? And do some of it. And guess what? Now you blow dry it again. Okay, so here's the last part. Now, it has to be dry before you get a permanent Sharpie or a permanent marker. And Miss Courtney is going to have to check on that. So she tells you to go blow dry it again, then you need to do it, because if we get paint on our markers, they're all going to get ruined, okay? Or she can do this part for you, just depending on how old you are and what you want. But what you're going to do is you draw lines for your Christmas lights, kind of circling around your cactus, okay? It's okay if they come out a little bit wide, and then I'm going to start this one here. And I'm going to do one right here. It's like they're going behind and around. All right, and then what we're going to use for the lights are just our fingers, okay? I'm going to start with yellow. We're going to do fingerprints, watch. And I'm going to come through and do a bunch of yellow lights to start with. Now you don't have to stick with yellow, okay? But I like to do, sorry guys, I had a little paint snot sticking to my finger there. I'm going to do a lot of different colors on it. I like colorful lights on some things and just plain lights on other things. But on this one, I really think colorful lights are gonna, but you see how I'm just coming along where the strings are that we just drew, and I'm just adding them in. That's it for the yellow. Okay, so now I'm going to wipe my finger and I'm going to do some blue. I like this light blue. I'm going to do some blue ones. You can do pink. I'd pick about 4 colors probably. And you just kind of want to spread them out. If I'm not careful, I'll only have space for yellow and blue, right? Okay, red is a Christmas color. There's probably red lights, don't you think? So we'll do these red ones next. This red is really thick paint, so it makes it kind of hard. And this yellow one was not showing up, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a red one there. And I'm not really doing it like in order per se, just trying to get a good variety of colors. Green is also a Christmas color. Since we used a dark green here, I'm going to go ahead and use a light green so that it will stand up, so that it will stand out. And then I think that's all I'm going to have room for. Now if you run out and you only have 3 colors, that's okay. Or if you need an extra color somewhere as you're going, go for it, you know? Depends on what you've got. Okay, and then you'll blow dry it again, and then your Christmas cactus is done. I can't wait to see pictures of what you guys make. These are gonna look so cute.